Good morning, Victor, and good morning, Yannick. So could we please start with Mr. Victor? Welcome to the conference, and I know it's very early for you in France, but thank you very much. And I hope you've been listening to the conversation that we are having here. And so I will come straight to the point. You are also a very frequent visitor to Pakistan, and you have huge experience in mountaineering and in the northern areas. And when we were talking, you were also mentioning how much support work you are doing in the northern areas in terms of providing equipment and also in terms of setting up schools for guides. So we would really like to hear from you what the issues that you face in this area of mountain tourism, and more importantly, what your recommendations would be to the government of Pakistan for improving and taking this sector forward. Over to you, Victor.
Yes, can you hear me clearly now?
Yeah, we can hear you clearly now. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, I just very briefly, I was unable to listen to the earlier part of the conversation, so I'm coming into slightly blind. I'd like to say that first of all, that the things that Pakistan does right at the moment, and it's a fantastic place to be as a mountain tourist, either as a climber or as a trekker. And part of this is to do with the permit system is extremely simple compared to many other Himalayan countries. So that's good. And I have just been trekking in Bhutan and in Nepal as well. And I'd like to say that there are many things that Pakistan does absolutely right. It's a beautiful country, and it works very well, I think, for especially on the big treks. But I think there's four little areas that would be really helpful. And I won't go into detail in this because this is really not the place for this. But the first area that would be extremely helpful for mountain tourism in Pakistan would be a really good skills transfer system. And I think Christian, I can see Christian up on the panel now, and Christian would be I think is a really good person to talk about this. But the skills transfer should not only be at the highest level, at the level of mountain guides, it should go all the way down to trek leaders. And the second, there's a lot of conversation to be done about this, but this is probably not best for me to sort of talk about it in detail here. The second really important area is to establish a clear and simple set of best ecological practices for keeping the tourism areas, the mountain tourism areas, clean and healthy. And we have, for instance, in the big treks going up to Concordia and so on, we do have systems for example, for sort of trying to reduce pollution by litter and toilet systems. But these need to be maintained. It's not just enough to put in use capital expenditure to create these things. They have to quite a lot of money. There needs to be a budget for maintaining these things. The third area, I think that would be interesting. Well, was actually is important. Is some kind of measures for reducing overuse of popular areas, because some of the treks have, some of the really great treks have become so popular they're no longer they're not such fun anymore. And that also applies to the big mountains, by the way. And I again, this panel is really not the place to talk about it. It's more, I think it's more the place to sort of lay out a kind of general idea. And the fourth thing that I think is really important is local agency, enabling more and more the local people and Pakistanis to run and control the tourism industry at a local level. So those are the sort of four areas I think that are worth discussing. And I think that is all I have to say at this stage. I hope you were able to hear everything.